Hitting your irons further is around 3 key concepts. Swinging the club faster, which we know for a lot of us isn't possible. But what we're going to focus on today is hitting down more, and a new concept and a new drill for some of you here, taking loft off the golf club as you come into impact. That will help you hit it further. And on par 3s, just like this one, you're going to be going in with a shorter club, therefore easier to hit the green. So let's start off together by just looking at a couple of tricks that you can use to help get that weight a little bit more lead side into impact. Because if you think about this logically, if you want to hit down on the golf ball and you want to throw something into the ground, where is your weight at impact? It's more on your lead side. If I wanted to throw something up in the air, I would lean back. So I would share these 2 little tricks. The first one being, think about a set of scales under your feet. Can you have that sole aim of having your weight 70-30 at impact and 70-30 towards this side? So I like to sort of trick my brain into this by feel it, go into the shot and have that real emphasis. Bear in mind, if this is new to you, it will feel really exaggerated. So watch this. I'm going to really feel I get that weight into my left. My goal is 70-30 at impact. Really forcing my way through. And then I finish, I should be able to lift my back foot. The second little trick that I use, and this is something that I would do on every single iron shot out on the golf course, is where are you focusing? Now, have a think where you focus on your golf ball when you're out on the course. If you think about this logically, if we're focusing on hitting the back of the ball, we might be a bit more inclined to hit up on it. I want you to think with iron. If you look at this on player cam, we've got sort of my golf ball with the Vice Pro Plus line in the middle. When I'm stood over this shot, I am focusing on the front side. Now, the reason for that is I feel as though I have more of an intention, again, to get through. For us to hit down more, we have to have our center slightly ahead of the golf ball. So we've thought about our weight, now let's think about our focus. So again, on this shot, we're just thinking about hitting down more. We are going to use my new drill for taking loft off, which is significantly going to add distance. Oh, did you hear that noise? That has not left a flag, just fading slightly. Now we're dancing. So that's 2 for 2, and look at that divot. You just have to try one of those 2. Honestly, you will take your strikes from being like this bottom groove to like 3 or 4 up, and that's where the meat of this club is. Okay, let's say you would add 5 to 10 with those first 2 little tweaks. Adding this one in there, this is when you're going to get a club longer. Now, why you're not adding a lot of distance right now is simply most golfers, they bring their club in this way. So if you look at the race between sort of where my hand is here in a mini version and the club head tends to win the race. What we're going to show you now is moving that way. So the simplest way of thinking about this is, imagine you stood here, I've got 8 iron in my hand, and I added loft to the club head, won that race. I'm effectively hitting a shot with like a 9 iron or a wedge. I want you to be standing here, turning your 8 iron into a 7 iron, turning your 7 iron into a 6 iron, and thinking about that logically, that is how you're going to add some yard. Now, this brand new drill that I've got is absolutely hands down brilliant. I call it the palm drill, and you get the understanding of what angle we have here for longer. So if I said to you, when you're hitting weaker shots, we're throwing it away too early, okay? When we're hitting stronger shots, we have this angle for longer, and then we throw it away, but at the right point. So to have this feeling, place your non-glove hand, your right hand for a right-hander, and this will be your left for a left-hander, just like this. If I turn it over there, you can see how my middle finger is sort of resting on the side of that shaft. Now, I want you to practice just some mini swings of that feeling of, relative to the golf ball, how do I get my hands to win the race? It's that action, isn't it? Now look at this slowly, I'll really break this down. And adding the bit in from the start about hitting down more, combine it with this drill, is when you start to really compress the ball. So just have a few practice swings with a golf ball in front of you. That is what we're looking for. Look at the angle I've got in my wrist. Now, if I was to break this down a little further, once you've just had a few practices at that, you really see what impact this has. Take it a little further. Now, you're not going to hit shots like this, but we get the understanding that as we start the downswing, we don't want to throw that angle away early. We want to keep it on, keep it on, keep it on. And as our hands pass, let it go. So by the time our hands get to our right shoulder, our right wrist will now be flat again, like this. It won't stay here, it'll be flat again. So let me show you that one more time. It's really important that this drill is so good. And when I've used it with students, they get the feeling to take into the shot. Let me show you that again. We keep the angle, keep the angle, keep the angle. As our hands pass the ball, we let it go. That is the whole idea of what we're trying to train. Now, if I showed you that there, we're really feeling in the golf swing, our knuckles and our wrist stay there for as long as possible. Okay, so hitting a shot away, I have the whole goal of, can the longest part of my swing be after the golf ball? And what I mean by that is, if my longest point of my swing is before, I've thrown it away early. So simple thought to break that down to me you can take to the course here is, I'm going to make the longest area of my swing there in front of the golf ball. That's what we've got to focus on. So taking that whole idea into the shot, all I do is focus on weight, if that works for me. Maybe focusing on the front edge of the golf ball, if that works for you. And that whole idea of where the longest, most extended part of our swing is ahead. Now watch this fly. Hopefully this gets even closer. Tell you what, that is straight down it. Oh, please be the club. Whew, 3 for 3 on the green. Thank you so much for watching. Use those little hacks to help you hit your irons further.